Hello, namaste.
Namaste.
Welcome to Dev's Hammer Show. This is the weekly flagship English talk show of Indigenous television and ITV Nepal. In this weekly English talk show, I invite guests from different walk of life to discuss on various contemporary issues affecting on Indigenous peoples. Sometimes I conduct face-to-face interviews, sometimes I conduct video conferences and invite guests from different countries who are working in different fields, especially in the areas of Indigenous peoples or multilingual sectors. So today as well, I have invited very renowned guests who is a writer, who was born in Bangladesh, and studied in Bangladesh University of Dhaka, and later on he moved to Sweden, and where he also studied in the University of Stockholm in Sweden. And he is a poet, writer, and literary practitioner. So his name is Anisur. His name is Anisur Rahman, and I have just invited him today as he has arrived in Kathmandu to promote the children's literature around the world. So he also has come to Nepal to promote Nepali literature to the Sweden as well as Asia and different part of Africa. So he has that plan. So today I have invited him to speak on his work, especially in promotion of multilingual literary expressions. So first of all, let me welcome Anisur. Anisur, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Could you just introduce yourself briefly, as I just summarized some of your introductions,
Yeah.
but that is not sufficient, right? So could you just introduce a little bit?
I can add a bit. Before I add, I'd like to say I have come to Kathmandu, Nepal, to learn myself about Nepali literary scene, literary culture. And I was born in Bangladesh, he already mentioned. Then I carry double identity. I'm a Bengali-Swedish individual who tries to survive in reading and writing. And myself believe is to be a writer, you need to continue reading and writing. It's a kind of never stop reading and never stop writing. On the basis of this thought, it is a need to promote or create platform for multi-diverse expression of creativity. Since I myself is a part of intercultural background, my mother language is Bengali. I live in a country, the working language is Swedish. Then being an individual, Bengali individual born in Bangladesh, we had a legacy, or we had a bad luck. We had 200 years colony of Britain. After 200 years British colony, English is our obligations in addition to Bengali. Then when I live in Sweden, I used to meet very many people from different parts of the world with diverse cultural backgrounds. And my birth country, Bangladesh, had also multi-ethnic cultural traditional realities. In Bangladesh, we have over 70 ethnic minority groups. Then they have also 30, nearly 40 ethnic language, and in addition to it, they have also own literature in 30 ethnic mother language. I think I should stop here.
So you were born and raised in Dhaka or in Bangladesh, and you went to Sweden, and you yourself spent your life in promoting the literature, especially the multilingual literary expression, as you said.
Yeah.
What is this multilingual literary expression? What is this all about?
It's a Because literary expression cannot be multilingual. It absolutely it takes place in mother language. Even I do produce my own literary writings in sometimes in English or even Swedish, but it doesn't mean I'm doing it in Swedish or English. In me, within my creative process, I also do it in Bengali because my thought process and imagination takes place in mother language. And then how and why we say the multilingual expressions, it means we create a multilingual platform, because when people can create mother language, when it demands the language and cultural diversities, we want to promote these diversities, creating a common platform where one can create or produce their respective individual expression productions. Then we can showcase them in an occasion like seminar, festival, then also publications. We do run literary reading promotion activities in a Swedish city called Uppsala. There we run an institution or a platform called Uppsala Center for Literature. There every year we make a documentation of carrying the literary productions from different participants and guests from different parts of the world, and having diverse literary and language backgrounds. And coming books we are going to launch in Uppsala, it's in number 8. So usually we try to publish one documentary publication a year. In this book we take literary works in Swedish, English and any other language. Even the latest publication is featuring a good number of writers from Nepal. We are publishing their text in English, some maybe in their own mother language. And we do these similar things with different countries in Africa, Asia and Europe. So this is the way we promote multilingual expression.
So, as you said, that a person or individual who is good at his or her own mother tongue is or can best express the literary work or imagination. You mean that?
Yeah, this is the I would like to say only way, but there can be exception. Being a modern writer or poet, it is good to have command in 2 more modern languages in addition to mother language. But if you don't know any other language or you don't have any command, there is nothing wrong. Let me make some examples. The latest Nobel laureate writer from China, Mu Yan, he does not use any other language, not a single sentence in English. He was translated into different languages and he got the Nobel Prize. And I met the Korean classic poet, living classic, Ko-un. So he does not use any English. So I met him in Istanbul 2010. There are many examples. The creativity means it comes from your mind, then you are telling your mind. So your mind is not trained to, it is not a matter of training. Let me also refer to our great identity for Bengali language and literature. His name is Rabindranath Thakur or Tagore. He got the Nobel Prize as the first non-European Nobel laureate in 1913. He made a comment to Bengali. Being a Bengali, you can have a tuition in English, but being a Bengali, you cannot get an intuition in English. I think it's a classic truth. And you may agree on this or not, but I stand for it.
So you just gave an example of Rabindranath Tagore,
Yeah.
who composed his poem or literary works in Bengali, and later on he was promoted and he got the Nobel Prize, right?
Let me.
And he is the best example that any individual can express the literary works or ideas in own mother tongue and can be read throughout the world.
Oh, this is very basic core ground is to promote expression, we need to promote translations, because to tell your mind, it does not work with any other competence or skill. It's not a matter of skill, it's a matter of let me make it more clear and visible. When a child talks to her mother or parents or relatives, does it care any skill or any language? Just tell its minds. So is the writing. And Rabindranath Tagore, he himself wrote in Bengali, but in addition to it, he also had a good number of big volume of literary writings in English. His 40% writings was in English, but he never claimed himself as an English writer. And the book he translated from Bengali into English, it is called Gitanjali. For this book he got the Nobel Prize, but he was not happy with his English translation. Then it was edited or developed by a number of his friends, including Irish poet W.B. Yeats. And after that, you know the history. He got the Nobel Prize in 13, and Yeats got the Nobel Prize in 1925, Irish poet. And Irish poet made a comment, the Bengali does not know English. But Rabindranath Tagore's English was very good. That's why I try to have a focus or priority on mother language in literary expression,
Right.
in music. And music cannot get the intuition or the musicality in the second language. It does not function.
So Anisur, you also spent your almost
Yeah.
your life
Yeah.
composing the poems,
Yeah.
and you also said me in background that you have already published more than 50 books, right? And you have come up with some of the poems, collection of poems as well. If you don't mind to recite some of the poem, I think the best, the one you think.
I have one. This is for children. It's a book. It's called "Do Not Allow the Soldiers Kill My Doll," because we are passing a time witnessing the war in different parts of the world, the visible wars and invisible wars, and it is a kind of a conversation of a child with her father in a war situation. Since I myself is a father of a daughter, the father to a daughter, and it's not my personal or individual story, but it's a kind of reflection. It's number 16 out of 31, and date, why cannot we go up in the sky? How high is the sky? If we could reach the sky, we would drop chocolates and chewing gums and chips down to the bad boys. They would be busy collecting the chocolates, jams and chips, and thus they would forget to shoot and instead would look towards the sky with surprise. Then we would ask the clouds in the sky to rain cats and dogs, and the water would go directly into their open mouths. They would enjoy eating chips and chocolates despite the rain, running around the area full of joy. Thus our land could get relief from their bad jobs.
Thank you, Anisur. And did you compose this poem first in Bengali and translate it into English, or you composed into English directly?
It is originally written in Bengali, then I translated it together with one of my British colleagues. His name is Daniel Kamete.
So you also said not only this collection of poem, but you also promoted the Asian, especially South Asian literature into different continent, like in Africa, you said me in backgrounds, and different parts in Asia as well.
Yeah.
Could you just tell me that your work in the Kenya, Tanzania, or Cameroon, that the interesting part that you shared me in the background before?
Yeah. To develop as a writer, the three things is important. One is number one is reading, and the number one is your own experience. So your traveling of your life. Then second one is reading, and third one is journey. And in whole your life is a kind of single volume of works from the beginning to the end. And I take it's a part of my development process, and also since as writer I do writing as part of profession. In addition to I need to do a job to survive myself and to help to meet the practical needs, paying the rent and other things. As part of my job, my assignment is to promote reading and writing, and is to promote literary exchanges with different countries. I do. That is why I was invited to Kenya, Tanzania, and I am in touch with Cameroon. We are trying to open up with the Cameroon. And in Kenya, I was invited to lead a literary workshops in Nairobi with the help of Swedish Institute and the Swedish Embassy in Nairobi. Besides this, one university in Kenya, they produced two of my dramatic works, and they did it as part of their course program. The students of theater, they produced two of my productions, Dabitisak, this one, and one plays about Bangladesh's founding father, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, in connection with the celebration of 100 years of his birth.
All right. So you shared that you were invited to not promote, but obviously promote the reading and writing in different part of the Africa as well. And you told me that you already initiated a plan to promote the cross country, especially from Asia, right? You just shared that you try to collaborate or let's say bridge the Asian and African literary works together. And what is your plan all about?
Plan is because since I was born in Bangladesh, my background is Asian. I live and work in Europe, and the world is this century, in the last century, and it's a reality. Most things are Europe centric. So in me, I am a kind of like monotonous or tired of this repeating things. So in myself as an individual writer or reader, I am longing for new voices, new way of expression, new unique things. Then I thought, I feel it could be more individual uniqueness is still needs to be discovered in Africa and Asia, and they deserve more focus and more expressions or more exposure. That is my own priority. And in connection, let me focus on a bit on Nepal. So we have already published a good number of Nepali writers in our publications from my office in Sweden, Uppsala Center for Literature. The book is going to be launched in May 17. It is nearly 800 pages. So in this book, both fiction, non-fictions, and writers for children and adults are included in this book with the help of CLRC and Center for Literary Research in Kathmandu, then International Pen Center in Nepal. So they are in connection with it. And let me also add, Kathmandu's One World Theatre has also produced one of my play. It's an epic monologue. It is designed by Rajkumar Pradarshini from One World Theatre. So they are going to perform it on 14th of April during my stay.
So again, in Nepal as well, in recent days, there has been good work in promotion of children's literature, especially. And I think you are also in Nepal to promote the children's literature, especially. And children are regarded as a foundation of the generation itself. And what do you think? And why are you investing to promote the children's literature? Why are you going to invest in, or why should we invest on the children for the literary creation?
Because I think it's a very tough area to work with and to write and to promote. I myself is hesitant to use the word promotion. Instead I would like to say I would like to learn more and more how to work with children, how to promote the children, have more focus on children's literature. It is a reality in many countries, not in every country. So they have a kind of narrow focus on the children's literature. So like in the literature for kids or literature for the underage people is like an undergraded literature. So that's I have some sort of provocation to remove this trend instead of to upfilled to upgraded this standard and status of the children's literature, and to get oneself into writing for children, you need to discover the children's child minds. So and then in that case you need to know this culture and surroundings and societies. This is my privilege to get the chance to come to Nepal and Kathmandu to meet my writers, colleagues here, friends who work with children literature, how they promote, how they work. And thus we want to enrich our way of working. This is my purpose, to learn and to develop our working process.
So your one of the plan is also to learn as well as to promote the multilingual literature from Nepal as well.
Concept, not the in fact the work directly, because we don't have that capacity. I don't have that capacity. I don't hold that position. Just to learn, to have more focus, and to upgrade the status. And definitely it could be a win-win work and mutual understanding and mutual investment of time, investment of structure, network. We do it step by step, because the next International Pen Congress will be in Sweden in September this year. I hope there will be a delegation from Nepal. And during that time, we are going to organize a big international festival parallel to the International Congress. It will be called International Sound Poetry Festival in the memory of a Georgian poet. He's called Zurab Arthveliasvili. He was my friend. He was a guest writer from Georgia to Stockholm. Tragedy is he died of cancer last year. So we introduced this festival last year in his memory. We found he is a kind of a Dadaism, and sound poetry is a kind of a unparalleled to sound poetry.
So through this festival, you have a plan to have exchange program from Nepal to Sweden. Also, you named previously different countries like Korea, China, and other countries as well, right? You said you want to promote the exchange program from Asia and Swedish.
Definitely, no. We have also privilege this time, because the international pen, they have centers in different countries, maybe nearly 200 countries. So all the centers and all the countries will send their delegation to Uppsala. So it is a good chance to pick a good number of poets from different languages and culture to organize some mini hours festival at the Uppsala City Library. There, definitely Nepali delegation will get their participations. So I can see they will also take part.
As you are practicing staying in Europe and promoting the Asian culture, and you already shared that the European dominance already was there. And what is your observations about the emerging, not a concept, but emerging works of the Asian, literature work or civilization in the Europe?
And
do you think there is a chance that now the Eastern, culture is also as parallel to the European culture, or let's say civilization here?
When it's writing and the publication, two different things. Publication is a part of business, and it's a part of capital domination. And creativity does not care anything. One individual will create silently. It is the responsibility of the state to promote the things. Being an individual, it's not easy to promote. That's why very many individual classic writers, they do their work silently. If they get any chance to get promoted, okay. If they don't care. And why Europe is dominating? Because they had the colony, and other parts of the world, they looted, and they damaged the other cultures, and they did not apologize. They did not say sorry, so we did it. They still tried to get the credit. They had the colony with the other countries, other parts of the world. Even the countries from other countries, they could not even demand the apology from the European part. We can see like Shashi Tharoor from India, he sometimes writes articles in The Guardian and other platform. He tries to remind the Britain what misdeeds, what crimes they did during the colonial. Still it continues through different channels, through different discussions. You also pointed out about the new generation writers or new generation individuals. They need to get more space, more platform than the established individuals or professionals. State and the society needs to be more caring for the coming or emerging writers or generations to safeguard their own culture, own identity and own nations. But I don't see that much positive signal in many countries in Asia. South Korea is kind of better to promote their own culture, Japan, but if you compare to the South Korea and Japan and other countries, I'm not truly happy. So I want to see more and more. Right. And it could be done through promoting reading. Right. So when we promote reading, then we are also promoting the people behind this. And this is the purpose also to develop children's, and they will lead this future generation, future country, and the leaders. And leadership does not mean people will go to the parliament, or does not only mean people will go to the parliament and people will sit in the cabinet. Leadership begins from the family to the society and everywhere. So we need to develop this sense of modernity, and it's a modern individual means we recognize as an individual, as a person. And in that sense, each child is also an individual as a person. We need to recognize them, we need to respect them. And this is also important to promote books and creative expressions for them and surrounding them.
Right, we are almost close to the program, so I think at the last minute, for one sentence, if you want to give a message for the world literary practitioners, what would that message mean?
Never stop reading, never stop writing. This is the last word from me.
Thank you, Anisur. So today in my program, I had invited Anisur Rahman, one of the writer, poet, and we discussed many issues in relation to the promotion of multilingual literary works, as he is in Nepal to promote or to learn about the literary works in Nepal, and he has a plan to have exchange program from Nepal to the Europe. So with this, I have come to the end of the program, and if you have any queries or feedbacks regarding program, you can reach me at indigenous-television@gmail.com. Next week, I will come up with new guests to discuss on new issues. By then, have a nice weekend. Namaste.